Made man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a prediction. Let us talk about this upcoming fight tonight. The card starts tonight at 10 o'clock on HBO. We got Gennady, Triple G, Golovkin, 34-0, 31 knockouts, 33 years of age. This guy's on a 21 straight knockout streak, ladies and gentlemen. He's what? Now this is going to be his 14th title fight. Dude's been on top since 2011, ducked by champion after champion after champion, pretty much coming into this fight as the heavy favorite. Some saying that this is just a stay busy fight, just to keep alive the big picture between him and Saul Canelo Alvarez. Ladies and gentlemen, he is going up against Largo, Maryland's own Dominique Wade, 18-0, 12 knockouts, 25 years of age, coming out of Largo, Maryland. First big step up fight, the biggest fight of his career, no doubt. Definitely the most exposure he's ever received in this particular fight, no doubt. Um, Prospect. I don't know. I don't know if to call him a prospect or contender, to be quite honest with you, because judging by his level of competition, I mean, come on, man. I mean, he's never fought anyone beyond a C level fighter. He's coming off his biggest victory known to date against Sam Solomon. We all know that. But however, this was a 10-11 loss, Sam Solomon, well within his 40s. Nothing what he used to be before, although he is a tough opponent. Now, Dominique Wade is coming into this fight, ladies and gentlemen, as a last-minute replacement. We all know that the original mandatory is supposed to have been Toriano Johnson, who fights out of Rock Nation. But however, he got injured and he didn't make this fight. So, of course, Dominique Wade took this fight just on a couple weeks' notice. He's an Al Heyman fighter, which is surprising because this kid could be something if groomed properly. He definitely has a good mature skill set that needs a bit more maturing, in my opinion. But, it's kind of crazy to see Al Heyman throw away one of his young prospects to the Wolves like this. But, this is one of those kind of fights that Gennady Golovkin is coming into this fight the big favorite, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you look at the odds. The odds are like minus 10,000 for Gennady Golovkin. And that means that you got to put down $10,000 just to win $100 for all you bettors. And then the odds are what, plus 1,600 for Dominique Wade. So if you put down $100, you win 1,600 bucks. But the odds ain't lying here, man. He is the Gennady Golovkin is the heavy favorite. Just a simple fight that, like I said before, to stay busy. Now, this is an IBF mandatory bout. So, of course, if anyone want to question the level of opposition that he's choosing, they can always pivot. He can always hide behind and say, hey, I'm just trying to keep my belt. This is the same belt that he won from David Lemieux on pay-per-view. What was his fight before last, or was his last fight? Whatever, man. But he won it against David Lemieux on pay-per-view, and now he has to defend that strap, man. Both fighters bring some good things to the table. Dominique Wade, being the unknown guy, he possesses a good jab, pretty decent footwork. His jab so far being the strong point of his game that I'm seeing. From what I'm hearing from his coach, Jay Stencil, he's the guy he's been having Dominique Wade spar bigger oppositions like stablemate Phil Jackson, who's a 168-pound fighter. He's been sparring guys like that. He said he didn't bring in anyone of note. Some people were saying he should have brought in people like Curtis Stevens and stuff like that for sparring for Dominique Wade to prepare him for this particular level. But, Jay Stencil didn't feel like Dominique Wade needed that sort of sparring, keeping him with a lot of the local yokels who know him best and pushing him to the limit. Dominique Wade has been promised an incentive by his handlers, ladies and gentlemen. Sam Watson, who basically speaks for Al Heyman, says that, hey, if Dominique Wade wins this fight, he'll give him a Bentley. So that should be more than an incentive for Dominique Wade to go ahead and go out and try to do his best in this fight. Now, in this fight, like I said before, given that Triple G is the heavy favorite, he's on 21 straight knockout streak. I think if this kid just survives, if he can break the knockout streak, that would say a lot about Dominique Wade. You know what I mean? If Dominique Wade can, I don't know, just give a great effort in this particular fight, that will do a lot for Dominique Wade. No one is in their right mind is expecting Dominique Wade to win this fight. He can always shock the world, of course. But, I mean, the odds of that are very slim to none. The question is going to be, will Gennady Golovkin respect the power of Dominique Wade? Because Gennady Golovkin is going to be stalking Wade in this fight. I'm expecting to see Wade, who has the better footwork and who likes to move and be more agile, to be the mover in this fight. I'm expecting Gennady Golovkin to be the hunter in this fight. Once again, I don't know if he can gain the respect of Gennady Golovkin. This guy, Dominique Wade, clearly is knocking out a bunch of bums. I mean, he has 12 knockouts in 18 fights. So, he definitely has some sort of power, but don't know if he has that level of power to keep Triple G honest. Now, the question will be, will he be able to take the punches of Triple G? Because Triple G is going to be hitting him to the body. He's going to be technically trying to break him down systematically, round by round, as he does majority of his opponents. Never always going in for the straight kill, just breaking you down systematically with a good amount of body work and as well as a good amount of pressure. He fights very well as a pressure fighter, also Gennady Golovkin. And, we're expecting no less. I'm expecting this fight to probably go 6 rounds. I'll say 6 rounds TKO for Gennady Golovkin. That is my prediction in this fight. Though Andre Wade, if he does, possesses the tools and the jab and the footwork to stay alive, I think that's the most that he can possibly do in this fight. Me personally, I don't think he has the pop in his punches to keep Triple G honest. I don't think he has anything to stop him from stalking. And this is being honest, man. I mean, I like Dominique Wade. I think he's a good little fighter. I think if against any other opponent, I would have him in more higher regard. But given that he's going up against a unified, title holder, a guy who's been on top since 2011, a guy who's beaten possibly even tougher opposition than Dominique Wade with much ease, you know what I mean? I just don't see anything there to go against Triple G. So that's my prediction in this fight. I honestly didn't. I wondered about this fight though, because like I said before, this is another Al Heyman fighter in Dominique Wade that's basically been tossed to the wolves. We just seen Charles Martin, who's fresh off his IBF title win, go in there and pretty much lose it. He didn't have to take the fight with AJ. Some say he cashed himself out, going over to UK, making about $5 million and losing his belt, being paid to lose his belt almost, you know what I mean? And this was a Heyman fighter that Al Heyman, if he wanted to milk him and put him in there with a couple bums, build his name up, that was a possibility. But Heyman chose not to go that route, and we see the same thing with Dominique Wade. So it's kind of shocking. It's usually un-Heyman-like. But from what I'm hearing, there's no truth, there's no factual knowledge to this, but I'm hearing the word on the curb is that Al Heyman is trying to get back in the good graces of HBO. And when HBO pivoted to find an opponent for Gennady Golovkin, they called up Al Heyman, and this was a way that Al Heyman is making concessions to HBO by giving them an unknown, undefeated guy at middleweight that's qualified because he's ranked pretty up there by the IBF, and he's giving him the HBO, basically sending him for a sacrifice or a slaughter, it seems to me. But that's just the word on the curb, you know what I mean? But however, HBO is looking for an exciting card. That's what they're looking to basically get into the business of, even if it's putting A-list fighters against C or B level fighters. They want knockouts. Simple and Simon. This is the reason we see Triple G against this guy. This is the reason we see Chocolito Gonzalez, who's on the undercard, the so-called HBO #1 pound for pound fighter, because he ain't mine. He's on the card too, and he's fighting up against a guy who's levels below him also. HBO is looking to get back into the knockout business, ladies and gentlemen. Simple and Simon. They want to leave the pity patent up to Showtime and PBC. But far as heavy hitters, knockouts, exciting fights, HBO is trying to fill that void. I still don't think this is the way to go. I'm never been a big fan of mismatched fights. I mean, Vegas knows it, the bettors knows it, the fans know it. Everyone knows this is a mismatched card, and this is just HBO on a straight excitement reach, and that's just my opinion. But until the next video, Main Man Made Man, don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511, Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum, Google Plus, Main Man Made Man. I'll be back on here, ladies and gentlemen, with a post-fight video after this fight is over. Of course, there's going to be all talk if Canelo gets through this. About what's going to happen between him and Canelo. We'll get more into that possibly later. But, Dominique Wade is very upset that a lot of fans and also the Triple G camp and Abel Sanchez have been basically talking over him. And it's never smart to look past any fighter, don't care what level you think they are. It's never smart to look past a guy. And Dominique Wade taking offense to that. So I hope he gets in there and he proves that, hey, I'm not the one to be looking over or through. He's a local yokel, man. He's a prospect from my local area. So I wish him nothing but the best. Until the next video. Peace out.